Hello, my name is Carly McAvoy. We're talking about the coordinate system, the Cartesian coordinate system. In this video, we're learning how to name points. So you already have points on a graph, and you want to give it a name. And when we name points on a graph, we use ordered pairs. And an ordered pair has parentheses around it, has a comma in the middle, and the two numbers represent the value on the x-axis and the y-axis. So let's take a look at A. If I want to name A, I'm interested in, if I wanted to get there from the two axes, what would I do? First of all, for the x, you can see for the x I'd have to go over 2, and then for the y I have to go up 7. So the ordered pair is 2, 7. It makes sense that it's even a positive positive because the only way to get into the first quadrant is if I have a positive positive point. So that means B also should be positive positive. What would be the ordered pair? You're interested in the how far over do we have to go and how far up do we have to go. We're always interested in the x first and then the y. So from the origin, we would go 8 to the right and 2 up. So hopefully you got that. 8, 2. What about C? Well, C, from the origin, I have to go 3, 4 over, because it's at the 4. I have to go over to the right 4. But then what happens to the y? I'm not going anywhere. I have 0 there. So for C, I have the point 4, 0. Those are important points. Those ones that land on the axis aren't in any quadrant. And those are the ones that we are going to be talking about in detail because they're important points called intercepts. We'll deal with that in a future video. Okay, so D. Well, from D, starting from the origin, you're interested in how far over do I have to go and how far up or down do I have to go. The Y movement could be, it's vertical, but it could be up or down. So from the origin, you're going over 6, and then you're going down 4. So you're going over 6, that's positive, and then you're going down 4, that's negative. So D would be 6, -4. Always try to do these on your own. Pause the video, write down what you think the labels are, and then come back and see how you did. All right, so what about E? Well, from E, from the origin, we're trying to get straight down, so we're not going to go left or right. So do you agree our horizontal movement is 0? And then we just go straight down. Go down to -7. So for E, we have 0 because we didn't go left or right, and then we went down to -7. That's another point that's not in a quadrant, but actually on an axis. You can look at the points that I gave you. I gave you 4 points on the axes because they're important points. We need to talk about them. Okay, F. From the origin, I'm going to go backwards to -8. And then I'm going to go down to -6. So my ordered pair for F is -8, -6. That makes sense because in the third quadrant, the only way you can get there is to have a negative, negative. And so we did. We had a negative, negative point, -8, -6. You can certainly draw the dotted lines to sort of help you see where those numbers are, but for most people, you don't probably need to do that. All right, what about G? Well, from the origin, I first am thinking about my horizontal movement, so I'm going to go backwards. And when I go backwards, that's negative on the x-axis, and I had to go back all the way to -11. Then I'm going down, but I only went down by 1. So I've got a -11, -1. H, from the origin, I'm going backwards to -7, and then I'm not going up or down. So it's -7, 0 for H. What about I? From the origin, I'm going backwards to -6, and I'm going up to +5. So it's -6, 5. That's the second quadrant. The second quadrant, the only way you can get there is a negative, positive. You want to go left and then up. So negative, positive points fall into the second quadrant. We didn't talk about the fourth quadrant, which is positive because you're going right, and then negative because you're going down. And so that's always a positive, negative point that lands you in there. What kind of points land you on the axes? Well, let's look at our last point, J. J, we're here, and our x value is 0 because we don't go left or right, we just go straight up. And that means that our x value is 0, and our y value is 3, so we get a 0, 3. So the kind of points that land you on the axes are the points that contain 0. Have a great day.